We're good to go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Nerd Related Podcast. Always with you is your boy, Raymond Johnson, a.k.a. Party Panda. And with me is my guy, B.
Yo, Brian, a.k.a. Lobo Malo.
So, right away, just to get out of the way, because, we're not trying to get, the politics or those kind of things. But big news. Everyone's talking about us everywhere and stuff. Gina Carano was fired from The Mandalorian because of tweets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on Twitter, or I'm not big into that. So when I first seen that she was fired, and then all the articles and all that stuff, they don't say what happened. So I had to ask friends, or hear it through hearsay, because I couldn't really read into it, because I'm not into all that kind of stuff like that. But I don't know, what was she saying, Brian? I got her.
Yeah, so she basically compared being a Republican to being a Jew in the Holocaust. So probably not the best comparison to be making,
also
to the world.
The most far-fetched comparison I've heard of ever. I don't know. That doesn't even make any sense, what she said. Also a stupid thing to say too, if you're trying to not piss people off, or, I think Jewish people own all of Disney, or most of Hollywood.
Right. Yeah.
So, he probably pissed off the wrong people there. But with the whole cancel culture thing, like I was saying, man, we were talking about before. You said accountability. I don't dislike it as much as some other people do, or whatnot, and I don't even really care that much. If you do something, you get called out on it. You gotta deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's important, right, to have a difference in opinion. I have many differences in opinions from everyone, yourself included. So that's just kind of how it is, but you got to be sensitive to some things. You and I have talked about this a lot, like when we're streaming and the shit that we say while we're live and people listening, like it's a part of what the world is right now. So you can't just go around saying reckless things or saying things that, make certain people feel any type of way, especially, the comparisons are just crazy. Like, I don't know, she kind of went OC with it, but at the end of the day, it is about accountability to me. That's how I feel. Like, if you say something, you either own it, and she's owning it. I give her credit. Like, she is standing on it, my dude. Like, she is like, this is what I said. This is what it is. I mean, she got a movie deal out of it with somebody that has similar views to her. They gave her a job right away. I guess she gets to produce it, and I don't know, I think it was produce it, star in it, a bunch of shit. So at the end of the day, there's other people. Yeah.
So there's other crazy people in the world.
There's other people that agree. I mean, you're entitled to your own opinion as long as you're not hurting anyone. But when you're famous, dude, a part of that responsibility is, being in that limelight and owning it. Athletes go through this all the time. When an athlete says something crazy, it gets blasted. So yeah, no different from artists now. So it's just a part of, what the information age has brought us. We were talking about that too, right? Where everything's at a snap of a button, right? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, it reaches millions of people in seconds now. So
yep.
It'll happen.
The shopping and how fast you can get stuff, you know what I'm saying? You can buy something now and you can get it the same day sometimes. You know what I mean? It's everything's going fast. So and then the company's got to jump on it fast. But leading into that, having to kind of be careful what you're saying, owning something. I'm gonna say this. So Captain Marvel, they put out some news saying they cast the villain in there or whatever, but I don't know if she's playing or whatever. I felt like that movie shouldn't have a sequel. I feel like the movie sucked. And then I talked to some people and they're like, well, man, it made a bunch of money and, whatever. Like, man, any Marvel movie that has to do with the universe is going to make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And then I think they're pandering to women, that whole movie. And I fell asleep when I watched it. My daughter liked it though. I mean, obviously, girl power and all that kind of stuff. I think that's awesome, man. Cause not too long ago, you would never see any female leads raking in, I don't know, $100 million or whatever that movie made or whatever. So I get it with that, man. But I feel like the movie's pandering to women, and that's the only reason it was big, because it was a woman lead role and all that kind of stuff. I think Brie Larson's a shitty actress. That movie's just, I don't know, the movie sucked to me. The movie sucked, and I feel like there's no need for a sequel, but I'll see it because my daughter's probably gonna want to see it.
Well, I don't think Brie Larson sucks. I mean, I'm pretty sure she won an Oscar for a couple movies.
I didn't see.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't see them. I mean, I think she won an award for what was it, The Room? She was like kidnapped or some shit, and she was in a room the whole movie. That was the first time I ever seen her because my girl watched it, so that's pretty good. So I checked it out. I don't know, like the reality is it's about time, right? Where like women, minorities, and everyone are leading billion-dollar franchises. So I get it. There's some forced moments in the MCU though, like the whole there was a scene in Endgame where all the women heroes were helping her. She didn't need no help, fam. She just ran through everyone by herself. She didn't need an escort.
Yeah, she's Captain Marvel.
Yeah, so like there's a couple forced moments, but they're trying. I get it. At the end of the day, still a long ways. There's still a long ways to go.
It's a learning period. For sure. And then sticking with Marvel, I think you shared the article or whatever on one of our group chats. Keanu Reeves, they were trying to get him to play Kraven the Hunter, but then I read another article today saying he passed on Kraven the Hunter, so it was like a real thing like that. Yeah, thank God. Like I don't believe all movie roles and stuff like that have to be dead on the comic books and stuff like that. But Keanu Reeves ain't got the look to play Kraven the Hunter, man.
He doesn't.
Kraven the Hunter is jacked. Like he would have had to have his shirt off 90% of the movie.
Yeah, he would have had just that little vest on.
Hey, man, and if he wasn't wearing that outfit, I would have boycotted that fucking movie anyways, man. All right? Kraven the Hunter, man, he's my second favorite Spider-Man villain. And I hope one day we get him in a movie, but Keanu Reeves ain't it. I tell you that, man. Kraven the Hunter, and this is one of the best Spider-Man stories ever. It has to deal with Kraven the Hunter. So,
yeah, he wouldn't. I don't know. I'm sure the acting side of things, he would have been fine. But like, you're right, the way that the character is and written, and they wouldn't have been able to stay true to how he looks.
And he has some sort of accent or something too, or some.
He does have an accent.
Yeah, man, and Keanu Reeves. I mean, first of all, he ain't known for his acting anyway. I mean, he's a decent actor, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, he was great in Knock Knock. I dug that movie.
Yeah, but him trying to have an accent, be a villain, and all that stuff, I don't think he would have the chops to pull any of that kind of shit off, man. So thank God he passed on that. And I don't know what they were even thinking. I mean, I guess you got to put a name to it or something that would help sell tickets and shit.
I mean, a lot of people are starting to try to be in it, right? Like, everyone wants a piece of this roller coaster. Like, the way their contracts work, as an example, so Vision dies in Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
So he gets the Mind Stone ripped out of his head, Thanos kills him. So he dies. So at the end of Endgame, there was going to be a scene, like an end credit of Vision to kick off WandaVision. The way their contracts work, had that happened, he would have got a huge payday. And they cut him out of it. So they like called him into the office. They had to call him in and be like, hey, we're gonna remove this, scene out of the movie, which means you're not gonna get X millions of dollars.
Oh man, y'all messing with my money.
Exactly. So that's kind of how it works, right? Like, they want to get on screen as much as possible. And Keanu Reeves is hot right now, dude. He's like our generation Chuck Norris at this point. The John Wick movies have turned him into that, like, just this badass dude that can do anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, well then he was and then for the Matrix movies, man. So he was already set as a action person. I get it, but I think that casting role would have been as bad as the dude that cast Sabretooth in Wolverine's X-Men Origins or whatever the fuck.
Oh man, that was terrible. That's one of my. I've said this a million times. One of the worst movies ever made, in my opinion. Especially comic book movies. It's up there for me.
Well, yeah. Well, first of all, Sabretooth is huge, big guy. And then Wolverine's a small guy. So you're not going to be able to cast anybody as small as Wolverine. Because I think in the comics, he's not even 5 foot, or if he is, he's like 5'3". I think he's like 5'3" or something. I don't know. Short as hell. And then Sabretooth is like at least 6'5". You know, he's a big dude. And then in the Wolverine next one, we're not going to get too into that crappy movie because it's one of the worst movies ever made. But they're like the same height, same build. They you know, everything was on the same level, man. I remember when the first 5 minutes of me watching that movie, I was like, this is crap. I said, this is so Sabretooth. This is so crap. Bad. And then the movie just got worse and worse.
Dude, we should do a podcast on just like the worst comic book movies of all time.
I am in. And that's going to be. No, I don't know if that's the worst.
I think it's the worst too. I think for sure it's up there. There's been some bad ones, but good.
I don't know, that Captain America movie in like 1989 or 1990 or something.
Yeah, I was in the 90s.
That movie was pretty trash. You want to talk about a shield wobbling in the wind? That motherfucker threw, you can see like it bending and shifting. I was like,
talking about that, since you mentioned that Captain America movie, there was some Marvel before, you know, they started selling shit off, like Marvel Comics tried to make a movie. And I was reading about there was like some lost footage that's probably going to be coming out where they started filming the movie, but they ran out of money, so they killed it. And the guy that was casted as Captain America was like, you know, it was just terrible. He was like, it was terrible, but I felt bad because the people making the movie, you could tell, loved the source material. Like they were comic book fans who loved Captain America and wanted to do something cool, but didn't have the money to do it. So
yeah, or not even the money, man. You just don't have the capabilities back then weren't, you know, go back and watch the Spider-Man show or I watched the Captain America movie that came out. It wasn't any kind of good at all. So yeah, I don't know. That casting thing, I wouldn't have been cool with it, whatever. But then also in cast, if we want to stay in the cast of the movies and everything, I love the Jurassic Park franchise and stuff like that. But I don't, you know, I watch them when they come out. I'm not too deep into it and stuff. I didn't know that they were having those what is it? Name not coming to me. They have the two what's his name in part 2? Jeff Goldblum. Oh yeah, Jeff Goldblum's coming back. He's going to be in the newest Jurassic Park movie, and so is Dr. I can't think of his name. Like I said, I've never really been too deep into those movies, but I can't, you know, the paleontologist that was like in all 3 of the first ones, whatever. Mm-hmm. Both those guys are coming back. They've been seen hanging out and stuff like that. So I'm kind of excited for that, man. And I love Jeff Goldblum, and I think that's cool that, I mean, well, that's where all movies are now. Like they're, you know, universes, and they're going to show that, you know, that these dudes were around and they were a part of, you know, Jurassic Park, you know, before all this other, you know, all these other movies happened. So I think that's cool that, you know, we're getting all these universes now and stuff like that. It's really cool to see. And then, you know, how it's built and after all these years and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty cool. Just like with that, like I was telling you, they want to do the live action Hercules remake, like they've been doing all these other live action movies, and the Russo brothers are attached to it. And Russo came out and he was like, he's like, you know, this stuff is near and dear to my heart, man. He's like, so I'm trying to do the best I can with this stuff. Sorry. And he's saying they want to stretch it out into like a decade-long thing. So I think that's, and he's like, I think that's what, you know, everybody wants now, which I don't totally agree with that, but I also don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see every damn movie franchise coming out trying to build a universe or trying to stretch it out or hang on to it. But I love Hercules, and obviously I like the Russo brothers. They do a fantastic job of everything. So I'm in.
We've seen a couple of those attempts fail. You know, DC struggling right now with their connected universe. The monster connected universe has, you know, been real tough. Like with Dracula and them, they try to kick that off.
Don't you talk about DC like that.
They try to do Dracula. Actually, that Dracula movie was decent. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but they've tried to kick that off. You know,
I didn't even watch it.
They've had a couple times where like you feel like they're trying to do a connected monster movie universe, and it's not done so well. So we've seen it fail a few times. Everyone wants to do it, right? The success of Marvel is fueling that.
And that's another one of those places where the name attachment shit failed. Like you put Tom Cruise into the Mummy movie. Tom Cruise is like fit. When that movie came out, he was like 51, 52 years old. I don't want to see Tom Cruise in a mummy movie or any movie for that matter anymore that much, unless it's the what's his franchise that he's still going on?
Mission Impossible.
Yeah. So keep doing those, man. And he's doing crazy things for him being at the age he's at and stuff like that. Like they're doing a new Mission Impossible stuff now. That's fine, but don't try to start me a new decade-long movie franchise with someone's grandfather. I don't. And then they had Russell Crowe was supposed to be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's the only reason I even gave that movie a chance, because I wanted to see how they were building it, because I'm a big monster guy, horror movie.
Yeah, you're super into that stuff.
So I was watching the movie and it got about to that part where Russell Crowe was saying, he had whatever, and I seen them trying to build it, and I couldn't even finish that damn movie. It was trash, and it let me down so bad, man, because I wanted that Universal monster.
Universal. That's what it was now.
But I don't know what they're gonna be doing with that. So they're gonna. I hope eventually it happens. And then
you mentioned Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible. So I just read yesterday, I think they sent the entire crew home from the latest Mission Impossible movie. They basically are like putting it on pause because they're saying it's impossible to work with him, like with COVID and all the shit that he's going and saying. Like no one wanted to stay there, so they all just bailed. So who knows when they'll finish that one? That's pretty wild though, where your whole crew is like mutinying against the production of a film.
Well, like I heard the whole what he said. I heard the whole spiel and him yelling at somebody who wasn't following whatever was following. I feel like he might have knew somebody was listening, or he just lost his shit and he's that crazy. But he was going on forever and ever about it. And he was talking to this person like they were a child or something like that, and screaming and yelling and shit. And he had a mask on too at the time, I think. I was like, all right, man, little overboard, buddy. Like it was like a couple minute long rant or something, man. Like all you had to say is, hey, man, we need to follow these certain things, whatever and stuff. Like I think it was like 7 minutes of him like, you don't understand the seriousness of the situation. Like he was like freaking. I'm like, all right, dude, come on, man. So I bet they did mute. They're probably like, dude, this guy is nuts right now, man. We got to get the fuck out of here. I'm not working for this. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get it. And like I said, I don't want to see that motherfucker in another movie anyways, man. So whatever. I wouldn't care if that movie never got made.
I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan in general. Like,
but ain't nobody asked for another Mission Impossible movie.
No, I haven't, dude. I stopped watching Mission Impossible after like the second one.
and then I'm a part of this, you're part of the group too. Prep time.
Yeah.
Someone put up a picture and it was like 3 actors. It was like, I think it was like Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, and Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, whose movies could go and stuff like that. And some people weren't picking Tom Cruise. Like, what has Tom Cruise done even better than any of those dudes at all? There is no universe where Tom Cruise gets picked over any of those guys, to me anyway. Like there's not a movie that just comes to the top of my head where it was fantastic and I could not do away with it. No Tom Cruise movies even come to the top of my head except for Top Gun. That's the only when I think Tom Cruise, that movie pops up right away. And that's not even that good of a movie either.
I like I like Top Gun. I just don't like him as an actor in general. I always Hollywood movie magic, right? The dude is tiny, bro. He's like 5'1" or 5'2". Like this is a real short stack. And then all the movies they make him look like this big, 6 foot something handsome dude.
No, yeah. I don't hate Tom Cruise, obviously. Obviously it sounds like I do hate him. But whatever, man. I don't hate the guy. I'm not a hater or whatever. So
Edge of Tomorrow. Did you watch Edge of Tomorrow? I feel like that movie is pretty cool.
Yeah, I seen it in the theaters. I actually thought it was better than what they give it credit for. Yeah, but I think when I went to go see it, I don't think it was called Edge of Tomorrow. It was called like
they changed the name.
Die Again or Die something.
Yeah.
Nobody went to go see it.
It was like Die, Live, Die, or Live, Die, Live, something like that.
Yeah, so when I went to go see it, it had a stupid ass name. That's all I know. I seen it when it first came out. So I don't think the name was what it finally ended up being. But I like that movie, but I didn't like it because of Tom Cruise. I liked it for the idea and the movie and stuff like that. Like to me, like I said, I don't think he's I good of an actor, man. I could throw his whole career away and not give a shit about it and not miss anything that he ever did.
Yeah, I think that's probably like the best movie I like. And then The Last Samurai, I thought that was all right.
Yeah, I never seen it because he was in it. But yeah. And I want to jump into some Battlefield stuff here, man, because me and you've been a long time Battlefield fans, and then we play a lot of Call of Duty Warzone. I'm not even a Call of Duty fan. I actually hate Call of
Yeah,
Duty, but I love battle royales, and this is the best we got right now. I mean, and it's fun. It's
it's fun.
action packed, man. Like uh, I started playing PUBG first, obviously, because it was the first battle royale I got into, and I thought that at the time it was the best you can get, and it was fun and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like Warzone just took the best of that game, like Apex or whatever, and kind of threw it all in together. And I still hate the game sometimes, and I hate Call of Duty, but to me, it's like the best we got right now. And I feel like PUBG's kind of not kind of, but it's been dying off because it's a small company. They didn't have all the money to pump into it and make it different, and they took too long to make the changes they should have made, all that kind of shit. But we're getting away from Battlefield a little bit here. But the new Battlefield is going to be coming out, and I'm super excited for that because I hated the last one. I hate World War One?
Yeah, it was World War One.
Yeah, I don't want to play a game where we're fighting with your great grandfather's weapons. No disrespect or nothing like that. That's not something I want to play. So that wasn't fun to me, man. Like it was hard for me to have fun when I played that game. And then they added a battle royale mode on there, which I don't think was that bad. But then again, like the gameplay and the guns and just the technology and stuff like that is. And then where we're at now with this day and age and everything that we could do and stuff like that, I think going back with stuff is just going back within your company and what you're trying to do, anyways. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
talking about battle royales, Battlefield 5 had that Firestorm battle royale, and it wasn't good either. Like it didn't take off. It wasn't fun.
No, I tried it. I
Yeah,
tried.
I tried to. I tried to get into it. I tried. I mean, we're really, like you said, we played PUBG for years, dude. I mean, at this point, the best we do got what realistic, real, and I'm gonna put realistic in quotations because Call of Duty sure shit is not realistic, but in comparison to like Apex or Fortnite, like it's as realistic as we can get. Yeah, Firestorm was straight ass. I don't know what they were thinking, EA and Dice. They probably just threw that
Oh, I know
together
what they were
because
thinking. Money
yeah,
grab.
for sure.
Players, everyone's playing battle royale. You could do is thrown together clusterfuck piece of shit. It's like someone took 5 minutes and was like, "Yeah, we could do this, man. Here's this, and that." I think like the first time I played it, it just crashed on me or something. I was like, "Dude, this is junk,
I mean, even Call of Duty though, Blackout, I think it was called. What was the first one? Yeah, I
trash."
hated that game, dude. It was bad. Warzone's decent though. I wouldn't say like I
It's
love
better than decent.
Warzone, but I
It's
don't
good. It's
dislike it.
fun. It's good and it's fun. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be playing this song. You know what I'm saying? Because just because it's a BR doesn't mean I'm going to play it. You know what I'm saying? Because if that was the case, I'd be still playing Battlefield 5's Battle Royale mode because I like Battlefield games better. When you want a realistic game, Battlefield's the way to go. So, with that being said, man, the new Battlefield is supposed to have a free-to-play BR. They're going to be doing battle passes just like every other game is doing now. And then they're kind of saying it's going to be a sequel to Battlefield 3, which I mean, to me, is the greatest shooter of all time. I think I played that game for like 5 years. I don't even know how long I played that game, dude. But as long as people were playing it and there was nothing to take away from me, I was playing that game. I played it for a long time, man. And
Yeah,
then
Battlefield 3 and 4 were legit. Personally, the game I loved to play. I mean, Battlefield 3 is probably the best Battlefield, but the game that I remember having the most fun playing on like multiplayer was Bad Company 2. I don't know. I just like the way that they talk to each other and just the gameplay was fun. It was just a fun game.
no, I like that game. I liked all the Battlefields. That's what I'm saying. Well, except for this last one, but I'm more of a Battlefield fan, and I'm never one of those people either. I don't like to get into it with companies or pick a side or choose a side. But I always have a Battlefield because I think Call of Duty is an arcadey kind of
Very
children's kind of
arcadey.
thing sometimes, man. And I'm always, even though we're playing video games and it's not real. I want to play something that's as real as you could get, playing it. That's always been my thing. That's why I don't play Fortnite. That's why I don't play Apex, because those games are, I don't know, too far out there for my taste, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to get down to earth. Play
I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited for Battlefield, especially if they bring the destructible environments through, which they will, because that's what makes Battlefield different from everyone else. What did they used to call that shit before? I think they called it Levolution or something.
Yeah, and they're calling it the same thing now.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I used to bring that big ass skyscraper down, boy. I'm gonna bring it to the ground.
Yeah, but it was only that one though.
Yeah.
Now they're saying like almost every building you're gonna be able to do that with. And I was reading into it. They said there's gonna be a couple exceptions, obviously, because if it's a BR game, there has to be buildings people can go into to get stuff and gather things, obviously. So they said there's going to be some exceptions or whatever, but it says every single building is going to be able to be destroyed to some capacity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's going to be a game changer, right? Like in Warzone, we like to snipe, right? I'm sniping right now. Shout out to the Tundra and Ray putting me on that. I love that gun. But if you're in a building, you're pretty much safe unless you run into some cheaters like we did the other day, which really pissed me off. But in Battlefield, like somebody's at a window, right, and I can't get a good aim at them, and I have a rocket launcher, I could bring that whole wall down, boy.
That was my favorite thing. Oh, you want to camp? I'm about to knock the whole side of this motherfucking building off.
Whole thing's coming down.
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited for that. So it's come out this year, but I want it so bad right now. I want it now. You know what I'm saying? So there's not really any trailers. There's no real information put out there, whatever. Like all this stuff's been put out by a leaker or whatever, but he's supposed to be like top-notch guy, and everything he usually puts out and says is true all the time. So I'm definitely excited for the things he's been saying and coming out about it with. So I can't wait for a trailer to drop or whatever, because they're saying it's supposed to come out holiday this year. So once that game drops, hopefully it's good, and if it is, you won't see me playing any other games for a long time.
Yeah, for me, I just hope, COVID's messed up a lot of things, from availability of console graphics cards to our movies getting pushed back. Video games have gotten pushed back multiple times. I just hope like this doesn't, now as we're moving through the year and things hopefully are getting better. I hope they don't push it. We don't have a release date or anything, so we don't know if it's even really going to come out this year. They're saying it will, but I hope we don't have to wait any longer than what we want to. And
what I'm gonna say next, you're probably tired of hearing about it already if you listen to us. But Zack Snyder, baby, they've been putting out a couple. I mean, this is annoying to me, but they've been putting out teaser trailers for the trailer. Stop doing that. Get the fuck out of here with that, man. The trailer is a teaser for the movie. I don't want a teaser of the movie. With that being said, though, I'm super excited, and man, they showed Batman at a tank. You get to see Darkseid. I seen the Flash. He was running, and there was like a tidal wave or something. Like I don't know, man. I think the movie it's gonna be a whole different movie. I was just reading today, 80% of the movie nobody has seen. That's insane. So this is a 4-hour movie, and 80% of it you haven't seen. That doesn't even make sense to me, and I think it's going to be super awesome, and the trailer drops tomorrow, so I'm super excited for that. And any news that comes out about this movie or anything that's said about this movie, I'm going to talk about it on this podcast, all right? Because I need DC to do good, do better, all right? And I'm all for it. Now, I don't have more of a love for either of them. But Marvel's doing a way better job, and I want DC to be right there with them because I'm a comic book fan. I want everything comic books to be fucking awesome. I want it all to be good. I want it to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the Spawn movie. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this movie constantly, and I think it's because what's his name is too much of a head case. Was Todd McFarlane? Like the way he was talking about the movie, like he doesn't want Spawn to be seen most of the movie. Wants to be like a horror thing, and you only see him like at the end of the movie and all this kind of weird shit like that. I don't know what the fuck that guy's saying, but like along those lines, like I don't like Image any more or less or anything like that. It's comic books, and I think Spawn's awesome. I just want all that stuff to be good. So I don't want no one out there saying I be dick riding DC or I like one more than the other, man, because I love the shit out of Marvel. You know what I'm saying? So I just want it all to be good, and also want Zack Snyder to get, what he deserves, man. Because if this comes out and it's to be good, everybody needs to, what do you call it? Eat crow or whatever the hell they say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that movie, Justice League sucked. But if we haven't seen 80% of the movie Zack Snyder put together, not his fault at all. At all. Like, period. That wasn't his movie. That movie that got put out wasn't his movie at all. Had nothing to do with it, pretty much. 80%. And that lets you, Josh Whedon, you suck, man. All right? You suck. You made a trash movie, and people don't like you either. And I don't like you. Okay?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be good, dude. I don't know if I can watch it all in one sitting. Like, I'm gonna try. 4 hours is a long time, my guy. We have to have an intermission break, dog, and just take a 20-minute break for some food and bathroom and shit.
Get some snacks.
Get some snacks.
Like the old drive-in theaters.
I'm actually kind of upset. What weekend does that come out? Let me see what weekend it is. Let's see.
I'm not sure.
Justice League release, Snyder cut, release date. So I'm kind of upset because I'm not gonna be able to watch it for like that first weekend. I'm gonna be in Vegas that weekend, so like, you're gonna watch it and like want to talk about it, and I can't talk about it until like Tuesday when I get back. So we'll see, man. I'm a little annoyed by it. I'm definitely not gonna watch it while I'm over there. Maybe I'll watch it on the plane ride back. It's about 3 to 4 hours long anyway, so that could be a good time to check it out on the way back. Try to stay awake.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. I'm gonna be excited for it till it comes out, and if it stinks, I'll eat crow. Okay, I'll shut my mouth. But until then, I'm thinking it's gonna be awesome, and I'm having positive vibes about it, and that's all. That's what I want. I want it to be great. I want it to be good. So I'm trying to will it.
I think so. Kind of going off of that, right? Like, what if it is freaking amazing? Like, and DC's already committed to not use it going forward. Like, what if the movie?
That's bullshit. They're not committed to anything. They're not committed to anything.
They already said it's like a standalone. Like,
yeah,
they already said.
That's what they say now. And if this movie comes out and it's fucking awesome, and everybody starts buying HBO Max, and the people are gonna, just like they did now with the release to Snyder Cut, they're gonna be like, let Snyder keep going. And then they're gonna be like, you know what? The fucking millions of people wanting them to keep going, and this movie was awesome. They're gonna turn right around on what they're saying. That's all companies are doing right now, is turning their back on every fucking thing they try to put out and stand on. They're going back on it. So I don't think anything these day and age, and with technology and how strong the people's word is and stuff like that, I don't think anything's ever set in stone.
We'll see what their plan. I mean, they have to have a plan, right? I don't know if they do at this point. It seems like they don't, but they have to, right? I mean, they're a multi-billion-dollar organization. After Wonder Woman, though, it just feels like they don't have a roadmap. You know, like even the second Wonder Woman, it was good. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't like the first one to me personally, but it doesn't feel like, where do you go from there, right? Like, it doesn't feel like it felt like a standalone thing, and I don't know if that's what they just want to do now, just do standalone things. I have high hopes for Flashpoint, because no matter how bad they fucked up, they can fix it. They can fix it with Flashpoint. Like, that's the beauty of comic books. Like, you can always go back in time and change something. So
yeah, the only things they don't need to fix to me are Shazam, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman. I think they have pretty solid ground to stand on. So, and speaking of Shazam, I don't know what's going on with this fucking Black Adam movie. The more I hear about it and the more I read about it, and especially what Dwayne The Rock Johnson's talking about and stuff, they're like, well, he was a hero, but they keep saying anti-hero and stuff like that. It's like, for a little bit of something, you could say he was an anti-hero or something. I mean, you could borderline on that bullshit, because maybe he started out as an anti-hero because what he was trying to do was like save his people. He got this power or whatever and stuff, and that was for like the short stint. But then, like, his whole career in DC, he's been a murderer and a villain and a bad guy. I don't want to see some anti-hero Black Adam movie. He can't be some borderlines. I know The Rock has to do with it, so he don't, he's big action guy, good guy. All his movies are fun and stuff like that. So maybe he don't want to play the villain role or something like that. But I feel like Black Adam has to be dark. He has to be a killer, and there has to be some urgency there. And then I'm all in. But when I keep hearing this anti-hero and his story and about how he tried to save his people and stuff, man, you could throw that shit out the window. I don't want to hear nothing about none of that.
I think what they're gonna do is like he's not gonna be on our like the regular Earth. Like it's gonna be the what Earth is the Justice League of Justice Society of America on? It's not the regular one. That's a different Earth. Well, like Jay Garrett and them.
Yeah, that's nothing with DC. They have too many Earths, man.
I mean, Marvel does too, but DC bounces around a lot more. Like,
yeah.
I think so in JSA, so that's why I'm bringing it up. He's like so Black Adam's a part of the Justice Society of America. So he's more of a hero in that Earth, right? So if they were to do that, I guess you can kind of live with it. But if he's like in the same Earth as the Justice League and Shazam, then I have a problem with it because it's not, what I'm saying? It doesn't follow a continuity.
And that's another thing too, man. Like Black Adam is Shazam's best villain or whatever you want to say about it, whatever. And then so they did Shazam, and now how far is that removed now? About 2 years.
It's been a while. I don't know when. I feel like Shazam came out a while ago, dog.
And then now Black Adam's supposed to come out in the middle of them. So and then I don't even know how close that's being done or what's going on with that. And then Shazam's supposed to come out after that. Like, how fucking long are we waiting in between to do these movies and get them together?
Well, that's what happens when you don't have a plan. That's what I'm saying. They don't have a plan. They're just throwing stuff against the wall.
Yeah, because Dr. What's the Dr. What's his name? The guy that was a bad guy in Shazam. Dr. I can't think of his name right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. But whoever that bad guy is, another one of Shazam's villains comes and sees him at the end of the movie. So obviously that's going to be the protagonist in the next movie.
Yeah.
Then where the fuck does Black Adam fit in this? There's going to have to be like a fourth movie? And how long is that supposed to be going into things, man? I don't know what the hell is going on with any of this shit right now. But like being a fan of, comic books and DC and stuff, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm hoping the Snyder Cut is awesome. And then they just say, okay, from here going forward, this is what we're doing. Like you can include Wonder Woman 1984 or whatever. And then, because that was before, right? That happened in the 80s. So it doesn't matter, right? Like you can always say that's a part of it. But going forward, like we end Justice League and then something happens where the Flash decides to go back. And then that should be the first movie. Flashpoint should be the first, kickoff of phase 2 or whatever they want to call it.
As long as they don't have that motherfucker running like they did in Justice League, I'll be all right with it.
Running? Yeah, he was like skating. He was doing
and then every time before he started running, he was like getting on a sprint stock formation, and then like someone shot a gun. He'd be like, oh, and then start going. I'm like, what is this?
I kind of lived with it a little bit because he's just learning how to be the Flash. Like he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So I kind of get it, right? Like they can kind of chalk it off to that. Like, well, he basically just got his powers. We didn't see him get his powers, right? Because we haven't seen a Flash solo movie. He already had his powers once Ben Affleck's Batman came to get him.
Yeah.
So like he could have just got him, right? Like he could have just been struck by lightning 2 weeks ago. So he's just trying to figure out what he's trying to do. So I guess I can live with that part of it. But from what we've seen him do now to being able to run back in time to create Flashpoint, a whole lot of things need to happen because he ain't ready to do that. Like character-wise, even ability-wise, like he barely knows how to run. How are you going to run back in time if you don't know how to run?
And see, I'm going to blame that on Josh Whedon. The terrible running and that stance and shit. That's your fault, Josh Whedon. I'll blame you for it. I'll blame you. You're getting enough heat anyways as it is. I'll just add on to it. It's his fault for the terrible running, and I won't stand for it. I hated that part, though. That was Like as bad as that movie was, that was what I hated the most. And then they made Batman pretty much useless in that movie.
Oh man, I thought that dream, they called it the dream sequence or whatever, but when Barry like kind of came through the little portal and was talking to Batman about what was supposed to happen, it was a decent setup there, but it never paid off for us. We never got to see what it was in.
Well, it's supposed to in this movie,
right?
It's supposed to be more. There's supposed to be more of that dream world and stuff like that. And then I seen in that little trailer, like Batman was out there fucking some parademons up. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. So definitely super excited for that.
Seeing some more of Darkseid.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, man. In the first little teaser trailer they put out, they showed him more. Like he had like people behind him, some dudes in like some hoods and stuff, and he looked super dark, grimy, evil. Because what was supposed to happen in Zack Snyder's original Justice League movie, Batman's supposed to die here. Batman dies in this movie.
Hopefully.
So Batman's supposed to die in this one. Don't you fucking say that.
Hopefully he dies. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. He's probably my favorite Batman.
He's the best Batman ever.
That's crazy.
Love you, Michael Keaton. But Ben Affleck's the best Batman ever. Christian Bale could eat shit. Don't like you. Don't like those movies. You suck. All right, but yeah, man. So what's going on? Is there anything that you've been seeing or?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to you about this week. Like one of the things I'm kind of moving over to Nintendo in general.
Oh yeah.
Not that many. So following the success of the Wii, which was hyper successful because everyone got one, from children to kids, college students to elderly people in nursing homes. Like everyone was playing like Wii bowling and Wii sports. Like it was a big thing, right? The Wii sold a ton of places.
Yeah.
Then they switched over to the Wii U, and that was pretty much a dud. Like they didn't hardly sell no Wii U consoles, but there was a bunch of cool ass Wii U games. Like they had a bunch of cool first party Wii U games that honestly no one got to play because no one actually bought that console. It was a weird console in general, right? Like I feel like the concept was cool.
Yeah, that was gonna say, I'm jumping on the coattails of what you were saying there. Like you can see the stepping stones, man. They were going in the right direction, obviously, because now the Switch came out.
Right. And it's basically that.
Yeah, so they always been ahead of the curve, you know what I'm saying? But it did suck. And they learned from it. And like you said, there's like that Zombie U game. I played that on the Wii U. I think that's a good game. So hopefully they bring that over.
The way the gamepad was used, there was a Batman game that it was kind of like in detective mode. You could play this game came out for like the Xbox and the PlayStation 2, but on the Wii U, when you were playing Batman and you went into detective mode, it would be on the screen. So it would be on the controller. And that controller was massive, dude. It was way too big. But
yeah,
it made it more immersive. It was different, man. But there was a bunch of games. Like I know when the Switch came out, the new Zelda game came out for both. It came out on both consoles.
Mm-hmm.
But
I forgot about that.
Mario Kart, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that was a Wii U game that came out and more people got to enjoy. Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, again, that was a Wii U game that was hyper fun, that they brought over to the Switch. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, fun.
Oh yeah.
No one played that on the Wii U.
And but going back to that Mario game you're talking about with the Bowser add-on or whatever. So I see that IGN reviewed it for the Switch, and they gave it like a 7.6 or 7.8, something around there. And then someone went back and was like, hey, IGN, when it was on the fucking Wii U, you gave this game like a 9.6. How are you going to review it? And it's the same game, but better with more stuff. It can't get any worse. Like IGN, to me, when it comes to reviews on movies, or video games, or any of that shit, garbage. All their I don't know who they got working over there, but you could just tell from that alone that I don't know, maybe because they're just pumping out so much content or whatever the fuck they're doing over there. But I can't listen to none of their stuff, man. I've read their movie reviews and I'm like, man, I might not want to see this movie. I think because that's what reviews do to you. They plant a seed in your
Yeah,
head
yeah.
and stuff like that. Along also with video games.
Video games for sure.
And then most of the time I go into shit and either watch it or play it, and they're way the fuck off.
I don't read them. I don't read them. I don't read them before. I'll read them after just to see, what people are saying. And I take word of mouth a lot more. Like when a movie comes out or a game comes out, I'm usually one of the first people to see it, buy it, play it, whatever. I try to be on top of it so that I get that experience before anyone else can ruin it for me. But there are times where I'll wait on a game or something, and instead of reading a review, I'll just ask my homies, right? Like, hey, you play this? What do you think? Yada yada. It's a lot easier to get.
Yeah, I usually go with word of mouth as well, man.
So there's a couple games that haven't been ported over to or remastered. I don't know what the hell they call it these days. They're remastered, ported. Most of the time, I think they just do like HD remasters. Fun ass games. One of the coolest games I played on the Switch, on the Wii U, was Xenoblade Chronicles X or 10, however you want to call it. That game was really cool.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
It was a fun game, dude. And it looked amazing. Like one of the coolest looking games on the Wii U by far. And I feel like that game needs to be, ported over because I play the hell out. I never beat it. I spent a lot of time in there getting lost, but never actually, went all in.
I almost bought a Wii U like a couple of times. Like, dude, I was like 99.9% inside of a store, had the Wii U in my hands, and then something always made me put that bitch back.
There wasn't much on there. I mean, there really wasn't.
Every single time. I like the was this Smash Bros in the original? Yeah, the Smash Bros they had that was original. Yeah, that was fire. I liked their game, the Smash Bros, and that was the first one where you can go online with two people and play competitively. So that was fun too. Like I said, the Wii U wasn't all bad, but obviously it wasn't all good. So I think that's cool that they're going to bring out some of those games that were on there first. I think Luigi's Mansion was first on the Wii U, or am I wrong there?
I don't remember playing it on there, but the one on the Switch is fun. I like the one on the Switch.
Yeah, but see, the one on the Switch,
nice
that's like the third. That's like the third one. I think the first one came out on the Wii U because they allowed that controller. Like you could look at the screen and see stuff, and then you had to use the controller to do other like little things and stuff. I think, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Luigi's Mansion started on the Wii U. I don't know if you want to maybe look. I don't know.
Let's see.
Video, but I think it was
Luigi's Mansion.
Because I know it wasn't GameCube.
Where did Luigi's Mansion start? Let's take a look.
Speaking of GameCube, best controller ever. Thank you. I think they made the ergonomically and comfortability. That was the most comfortable controller I've ever played with. Now, did it look the best? No, but I think it functioned very well. My hands never cramped up, and it was the most comfortable.
It looked terrible. It was comfortable, but the way it looked was ugly.
And then the GameCube also was a system. Like it was a box and it had a fucking handle on it.
Yeah.
You would take it like, man. Nintendo has always been, on ahead of the game with all that kind of shit. Besides online multiplayer and stuff like that, man, they keep dropping the ball with that. I want them to get on board so bad. I want them to so bad.
So it's all about the kids stuff for them, right? So they want to try to keep kids safe, and they ignore that they even have an app, to let you talk to people with their first party games. A lot of games like Fortnite and all those other stuff, you can talk in game. They have in-game chat because the Nintendo functionality for chats is pretty garbage. But Luigi's Mansion was the first Luigi's Mansion came out on the GameCube. That was the first one. Then they had one on the 3DS.
Oh, was GameCube?
Yeah, it was GameCube.
I'm wrong like a mother lover.
Then they had one on the 3DS, I think. And then, now Luigi's Mansion 3 is on the Switch now.
Damn, it was that long ago. It was on GameCube.
Did you know the GameCube had online functionality?
Nope.
Yeah, you can play online with it. It had like an adapter that you can get. And they had like this big old controller. It was like a GameCube controller with like a keyboard in the middle of it. It was like the weirdest thing ever, like just ginormous, kind of like the size of what the Wii U controller's like. But
I had a GameCube, and like the only game I played on GameCube was Kobe Bryant basketball. I would take my GameCube over my friend's house to whoop their ass in Kobe Bryant's basketball. And then they had a 007 that I think only came out for GameCube. And I used to play that a lot.
You mentioned that. I completely forgot. It wasn't, this is totally, didn't think I'd talk about this today, but Did you see somebody release the GameCube, like an emulator online, and people are downloading it for the computer and like playing what it would look like, remastered or whatnot? This is real recent, within the last 2 weeks.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so a lot of people are. My cousin hit me up and was like, "Yo, did you see this?" I was like, "I started looking up." Let's see, what was it? GoldenEye. That's what it's called, I think.
I like those emulators and stuff like, man. That's and then Nintendo, like if they were smart enough to like see the emulators and stuff, and they're trying to sell all their older games now, on their Switch and everything. You can buy all those games and play all the older games on your Switch and whatnot. And I think that whole idea came from emulators, still being able to play those old games at a better functionality and wherever you want to, pretty much.
Dude, GoldenEye came out in 1997, bro. Good grief.
And that started my competitive nature.
It did for sure. Everyone was trying to play some GoldenEye.
Dude, like you could be known in the neighborhood. They're like, hey, some new kid just moved in the neighborhood. He says he's good at GoldenEye, Ray, and we know you're the best GoldenEye player. You guys gotta play. You wouldn't even know the kid. And you would meet him because someone said he could beat your ass in 007 or something, and you guys become friends. Like
they used to have tournaments at like the Boys and Girls Club, like GoldenEye. My buddy Lee and his brother were really good at it. He don't even play video games anymore, which is crazy. But they actually won like some Nintendo 64 consoles at the Boys and Girls Club or something, because they got first and second out of like everyone that was there playing the game.
Oh, Lee and them, they used to be super into video games. I remember going to Lee's house and playing that wrestling game they had for GameCube.
NWO versus the World or something like that. WCW versus the World.
We used to, Lee and them, they were big into video games. But going along the lines of like just creating relationships through gaming, and this is before online really. Like it was with my cousin. I would always come to visit, or on holidays and stuff like that. We'd always get together, and then I was always good in video games. My cousins never got really into it, but they always had this stuff, so we would play and shit like that. Then I remember coming over one year after not seeing him for like a year or something, and they're like, "Yo, our buddy Gavin's the shit at 007 too. We got to call him and come over there." You know what I'm saying? So the first time I ever meet this guy, my cousins are geeking us up like, hey man, he's super good at 007. You get at 007. You guys. So that was the first time we ever met with our competitiveness in video games, and we were both kicking each other's ass and both really good. And we found a friendship there and a camaraderie and stuff. We both gave each other love, and then me and him became friends over the years. And me and that guy are still friends. We play with them on Warzone. Did you think, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, we first met because of Super Nintendo. Nintendo 64,
Mm-hmm.
and then we would also put each other on games and be competitive. Like there was this game called Win Back. I never heard of it or nothing like that. And it was like one of the first third-person shooters, and he put me on that game. You know what I'm saying? So we always had. And then when the online shit came out, Madden, me and him, man, we were always going at it. You want to talk about pissed off and not talking to somebody? Madden will have you right there. I'll tell you that.
Dog, staying on the Nintendo bandwagon here. Did you see the new Mario themed Nintendo? Have you seen it? They have a Mario themed Switch.
Really?
It's bad though. Like,
look into it.
There's no Mario. Like, it's red and blue, obviously, like Mario's, clothes is, but it doesn't have like any Mario stuff on it. It could be like a Spider-Man console, to be honest. Like, it's just legit, just the base is red, the Switch itself is red, and then the controllers are like blue. It's kind of weird, dude. Like, why would you make a Mario theme system?
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's bad.
The only thing cool about it is the carrying case.
Yeah, the case looks cool.
I think that has like mushrooms on it or something. Way to drop the ball, Nintendo.
Really bad. They dropped it really bad.
Dude, you could have had like a whole design. It could have been like, I don't even know, man. Who's working for you guys over there, man? That is the most bland shit.
It is so bland, dude. It's craziness. I don't know. On Twitter, a lot of people have been going through and making like memes. They've made like Spider-Man ones and like just different things that are blue and red. But they definitely could have did way better with this.
There's so many things you could have done with that. I would have had it be like from Mario, first one. So now I would have like different pieces of like different maps or levels on the system, like conjoined stuff, like something cool like that. You could have done so many things, or you could have put like the things you hit your head on the box, and when they pop up, you get them, you get powers.
Yeah.
They could have had like they could have had the leaf, the mushroom,
The fireball.
That's a Nookie tail. Yeah. They could have just all those little pieces scattered all around the system and on the controllers and stuff like that. There are just so many things you could have done besides make it matte red and matte.
No, it is the most uncreative themed console I've ever seen in my life. Like out of all the themed consoles that have ever come out, this is probably the least creative.
And if they're trying for a money grab, I think you dropped the ball on this one, guys, because no kid's gonna look at them.
They're not buying it because you can get
Switch.
it. You know, usually right now buying consoles is tough. Even Switches, like they've sold so many of them, but like you can. I think on Amazon they had some the other day, so it's not like flying off the shelves in general.
That thing's gonna be flying into the garbage.
I mean, it's cool if you need a Switch and that's the one they have. Obviously, you know, pick it up. But they could have did so much more with that stuff.
That's terrible.
Yeah, just bad. Just bad.
On the Nintendo thing, they have the hold on the handheld, man. I want one of the systems to bring out another handheld. Well, are they dead kind of now with phones? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need one. Like. Our phones are computers at this point, dude. Like you can play anything on the phone. You can connect any controller on the, you know, you can play with the Xbox controller, the PlayStation.
Yeah,
controller.
and look at PUBG and Call of Duty. Their phone communities right now are huge, man.
Yeah.
And I remember, dude, Brian, you always been on that train. You're telling me like one day, dude, you're gonna be doing this on the phone, and I was always like, no one's gonna want to fucking play on the phone. The game's always gonna be garbage. And Brian, you're always like, Ray, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like you're gonna be able to play anything on the phone and stuff. And I was always,
dude.
I was like that old person. Never. It's never gonna happen. No one's gonna want that. And now phone gaming is insane, dude.
I don't like it. Like I know what it was coming, right? The way that it was going, but I'm not a fan of it. Like
it's ruining some games though. Like it ruined PUBG.
Yeah.
PUBG put more into their phone company.
It's easy money.
Especially over in India, man. They're playing that shit like crackheads over there, dude.
Yeah, and then they banned the game, and now they're getting a game called Fog G or some shit. It's like a clone of PUBG. It's called Fog.
Hey, they gotta do something over there, man. People probably going nuts without not having. I'm just kidding, but dude, India was huge over there, and then people are streaming. People are streaming PUBG Mobile, and they have thousands of people watching them play a game on the phone. So, man, they definitely have come a long way. And then I bought this new iPhone, and it came with like the little the Apple Arcade or whatever and stuff. It's not my thing, but I went through it, and I think I downloaded a couple games for my son because I have like 3 months free trial. Once that's up, I'm getting rid of it though. But they had like this little skateboarding game on there. Like, dog, it's just like just whipping and stuff like that. But there's like over 60 tricks you could do. You can grind on there. You could change his outfits, the skateboards, all that kind of shit. I'm like, man, for a game on the phone and the connectivity and the way you play on it, man, like that shit's coming a long way. I wonder if consoles will go away and motherfuckers just be gaming on phone.
I think there's a lot of people that are going to be like wanting to dedicate gaming. I mean, consoles could go away because people, I've made this switch myself. I have a PS5 and I spend most of my time playing on my PC.
But dude, I'm telling you, as much as people could be saying that and doing it, it's not going to happen. I think it's a long ways away.
I don't know because Microsoft
most people don't have that expendable income. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the price of these things aren't that cheap to begin with. But Microsoft is planning for it. You could tell, like,
okay, but like the new graphics cards you want, that new graphics card is like $1,000.
Well, it's because, first off, the prices are up because people are mining cryptocurrencies and they're pumping the prices up to the moon.
But I'm saying, so like this Xbox is gonna be good for the next 10 years, like right or around there. Something like that.
7 to 10 years, probably.
Yeah, and then within the next 2 to 3 years, there's going to be another $1,000 graphics card that's going to come out, and people are going to want that too. Not everybody can sustain that or want to do that. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I know my thing is as good as it's going to be good for the next however long people are still playing on consoles. That's my whole thing about it. Not saying that computers are bad or anything like that, but when people keep saying like, oh, like I remember this last year when these two came out, people were like, I don't think Xbox and PlayStation are going to sell as much. PlayStation sold more consoles with the PS5 than they've sold with any fucking system ever. So consoles are not dying anytime soon.
They sold like they are though, because Microsoft is planning their exit strategy. You can tell already. They're going with the Game Pass.
PlayStation's still going to have theirs then.
Yeah, PlayStation still has. They're not ready for that. But Xbox for sure. You could tell, dude. The Game Pass, you can play anything on a Game Pass on that Xbox Anywhere thing, you can play I can play Forza on my phone right now today. And it plays smoothly. Like if you have an Android phone, it's not on Apple yet, I don't think, but you're gonna attach your controller to it and play Forza through the cloud, with that Xbox Plays Anywhere. So they're gearing for that. A lot of things that they're doing is kind of for that. They're trying to be ahead of the game, and well, it makes sense.
If consoles ever die, that's when I'll make the switch. But until then, I'll die in this hill like I did with saying.
Well, it's easier.
We would never play video games on the phone.
It's easier, right? Yeah, I still don't want to play video games on the phone.
No, but I never thought it would even get to this point. Though.
No,
that I don't want to play on it, that doesn't fucking matter. I never thought it would get here to where it's like people playing Call of Duty online against each other and having a competitive community and shit.
Dude, and it's not made for us, right? It's made for the casuals. Like my little brother doesn't play video games on a console at all. He has a Nintendo Switch. He'll play some shit on there sometimes. But when I tell you this dude spends 80 to 100 hours playing like Call of Duty on his phone or PUBG on his phone, like it's insane, dog. Like that's the market.
My homeboy Moon does too. And then we were talking. He's like, yeah, man, he almost has like a 3 KD on his phone. And I was like, all right, man. I was like, hey, bring your Xbox over. Warzone's free. I was like, man, you be killing it on there. I was like, jump on this console and play with me. Boy, you could take that 3 KD and throw that shit in a fucking dumpster, boy. It was like hell trying to get this guy to play with me and know what the fuck was going on. Yeah, he was terrible. And he was talking about all this shit about being good at Call of Duty. I'm like, yeah, on the phone.
He's good on it on the phone. He's not even interested in playing it on he has one of the PS4s I gave him. And my cousin just gave him on Xbox, and he doesn't really care about it.
It's way off. It's way off. Yeah, it's not even the same at all, man. Like when I was playing PUBG on the phone and compared to the console, it's way more easier. It's so bare bones and broke down. Like you said, it's not for us, and that's why I can never play it. Like it can't happen for me. Never will. But I'm glad people got that though to play and feel like they're good at video games.
Well, it's a transition, right? Like my brother might be an exception because if you get on a phone, right, it's convenient because it's always with you, but it is a gateway into what we do, right? Like you start playing that on there, whether it's in, a strategy game or a shooter with the battle royales coming up everywhere. And it should, even those that never played a lot of video games before, it'll pique your interest. Next thing you know, you're looking for a PS5 to see if that's a thing or an Xbox Series X. Let's get on there. All right, I want to play different games. I mean, it's good for the business. It's good for us because we want to play shit until we die. So, I mean, I get it. There's just way more money in mobile, dude. Like this is the main reason I don't like playing mobile games because I don't know, like 10 years ago, I was working with Danny and there was this game called Spartan Wars. And it's basically like Clash of Clans, but it was with Spartans. And those games, you build something and you got to wait X amount of time for something to get built or X amount of time for your soldiers to get created. But you either wait that day or 72 hours, however much time they're telling you to wait, or you can pay $10 to make it happen instantly. So guess what I was doing? Next thing you know, you spend $300 on a month in a fucking game I really don't even care that much about. And I was like, yep, I'm done with this. Never playing it again, uninstalled it. And since then, I haven't really played no mobile games, dog. I'm not going. Because I'm real impulsive, dog. I'll be like, oh, I can speed this up to 10 seconds instead of 2 days. Sign me up.
I'm trying to think if anything like I'm looking forward to like that's about to happen recently. You hear any like new movies or something that's about to pop soon that's coming that we could tell people about maybe or say something?
No, I mean, I heard Black Widow might get pushed again because Disney's not trying to release it on the network on Disney Plus.
Bro, yeah.
So outside of that, I haven't really seen any big movies coming out. I mean, we talked about all the little things. That was cool.
I'm just wondering, personally, like, if there's anything coming, because I haven't heard about too much, like right now, like saying like this week or the coming up week.
Tom and Jerry comes out on the 26th.
Oh,
well, I got theaters and HBO Max.
I got 2 kids, so me and my kids are definitely gonna be watching that. Yeah, and then what? Godzilla, King Kong. That's only a couple weeks out now, right? Or is that next month?
That's in March. So
that's in March. I should be getting my taxes around then. What's up?
Yeah, so your favorite, most anticipated movie will be March 18th, Justice League, and then Godzilla versus Kong will be March 31st. So big month coming up for
Warner
big month
Brothers.
for Warner Brothers. Tom and Jerry,
What's going to be a
Justice
big?
League.
It's gonna be a big year for them.
Nah, SpongeBob. I hate, dude. We can talk about this some other time, dude. I hate SpongeBob. I think it's so stupid, dog. And it's one of those things where like it's not even. I don't understand really truly how much or why I hate it. I just can't stand the show. I can't stand the animation of it. I can't stand what happens in the show. Like I just hate it with a passion. But they got a movie coming out March 4th on that Paramount Plus, yet another streaming service coming out
Dude,
here. That CBS All Access is going to turn into Paramount Plus, and they're going to add a bunch of movies and shows and shit.
we got to start boycotting these companies. We got to stop. You got to stop it. We don't need a parent. Nobody asked for that. Paramount. I think you're gonna dive. I think that shit's gonna dive. Nobody asked for that, Paramount. You know what? I'm not buying it. I hope that shit dives. It's starting to be too much, man. CBS All Access. Who even owns that channel, man? Everybody over 50? Stop with all this shit, man. Come together, man. Let's take 2-3 stations and try to make a damn channel. Now Peacock is out.
Peacock, yeah.
Peacock. iPhone, Apple has their own. Now we got Paramount. Just stop, man.
So I don't know. So those that are listening to the podcast on Spotify, I'm currently wearing a Roman Reigns shirt. Show up and win. But we're gonna get Peacock because I currently have the WWE Network, which is one of the best values for $10. You get all the pay-per-views.
For sure.
You know, the vault, all kinds of shit. But the WWE made a deal with NBC, and the WWE Network is now going to be a part of Peacock at the Peacock price. So it's like half off if you sign up for Peacock versus having the network for $10. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to that for, I think the no commercial version is $10. So we're going to pay the same and get not only the WWE Network, but also the Peacock stuff for the same price. So that's going to be a no-brainer in my household. My girl wants to watch all the Office unreleased content anyways.
The Off, man. That alone will let you know how good that show was or is. Because, dude, that thing is still selling shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, they're like, Peacock, come over to Peacock and check out all our new stuff. And then I heard like 3 people in the same damn sentence. And The Office, and The Office, and The Office. Bro, that show's almost 20 years old now. And that's what you're selling your streaming service on? Is The Office? And fuck you for taking it off Netflix, Peacock, so you can put it on your dumbass streaming services. I'm tired of all these streaming services, man. They can kiss my ass. And also, fuck DC too with their bullshit. I bought that streaming service, man.
It's now a comic book thing now. I have
it. It's only a comic book thing now.
Yeah, I have it through December, but
dog. And they were selling the shit out of that thing. Yeah, man, we're gonna have TV shows, this and that. It's all gonna be whatever.
So 2 weeks from now, March 5th, a lot of stuff coming out that day. Coming to America, Coming to America on Amazon.
I'm excited for that.
Raya the Last Dragon comes to Disney Plus. That movie looks cool. A new Disney movie coming out. And a bunch of movies coming to the theaters that I never even really heard of, but
yeah,
that looks like a big week.
Coming to America too, whatever. I'm definitely excited for that. Maybe you guys waited a little too long for that Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy's been MIA for a while though, dog.
But now he's just been pumping shit out, man.
Yeah.
He did that what was it, Dolomite. Now he's doing this. Good for you, Eddie. Good for you. Good for you, man. I think that transvestite thing kind of stalled his career for a little bit there or something, right? That was him?
I don't even remember.
I know John Travolta, he got into that. He got caught up in some weird shit like that. But yeah, Eddie Murphy went away for a long time, man. I think the last thing he did was like Ghost Mansion or Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion.
I think that was, or Norbit, maybe Norbit. But
No, I think the Haunted Mansion was after Norbert for
yeah,
sure.
but both those movies were awful anyway, so I could see why he disappeared for a while. So
Oh man. Yeah, so I mean, lots of things coming out. Didn't you want to? I think we were talking about. I don't know if we did this already here. My mind's kind of, going through, but we were talking about Hercules earlier today.
yeah,
Um, and I don't know if we actually got to it on this cast already or not. I can't remember.
yeah. I talked to them, brought it up right away, and because I said something to you, I was like, man, I don't know if they could, bridge it into a decade long thing. But you were saying like all the feats and stuff that they usually show, it's just real fast, and then he's big Hercules or grown Hercules. So yeah, they could go through that, but like even that, I don't know how they could stretch it into a decade because, like, say with Marvel, it's a decade thing because there's a bunch of different superheroes. You know what I'm saying? You have Hercules. No one's gonna want to see a Hermes movie, okay? No one's gonna want to see an Atlas movie, or maybe they will. I don't know what they can do with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you would make it a decade long thing. You know what I'm saying? I know you could do a Hercules trilogy though. I know that, but they're talking about 10 years, or that's the plan. Obviously, they said it's real early, but he said that, and I don't know if you can have 10 years of Hercules content, at least like that anyway, along the lines of Marvel. But I mean, a trilogy. What do you mean? 2 years in between each movie? You get close, do something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Make
he
it more
definitely wouldn't be.
universe.
I think they
Buffalo
can do it.
Sorbo.
I think they can do it, but it wouldn't. It'd be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for it though. I love Hercules, man, and I'm all about just new content, man. Well, I mean, that's not even new. That's uh, rehash and stuff like that. But it's something that I'm down. I'm
So
for it.
I like that time period in general, like that section. Most of the movies I like Gladiator is one of my favorite movies. In general, that's a little bit after, but that way of life. Lots of cool TV shows like Spartacus. I don't know if you ever checked out Spartacus. That's pretty cool. Rome was cool on HBO. If you have HBO Max, that's on there for sure. It was 2 seasons long. That was cool.
I'm just not for them live actioning these cartoon movies. Like just leave them alone.
Well, there was like, I mean,
Like you want to make a Hercules movie? Make a Hercules movie.
right.
Why
We've already seen. There's been so The Rock had that Hercules
that was
movie.
trash.
That was a very terrible movie. There was supposed to be around the same time another movie was supposed to come out, a live action one, but
No,
they
it did.
pushed
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I don't remember even watching it. It was with the dude from,
I
I
don't
think it
think
was the
anybody's
dude
seen
from
it.
like Twilight. I think one of the Twilight dudes was in it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's seen it.
So they've tried, but it hasn't been successful. The Rock one was super weird, and he had a terrible like wig on. It was just the movie was just bad.
Yeah, I don't know where they were going with that one at all. Stop ruining my boy's name. Put some respect on Hercules' name, okay? Kevin Sorbo was the last person to do it right, okay? So you stop disrespecting Hercules and Kevin Sorbo, okay? Get it together. But yeah, man.
So before we let you guys go, next week's podcast we have already a theme for, and I wanted to kind of geek it up a little bit so that when we come through, get you guys thinking about the possibilities. So next week's podcast we're going to be talking about time travel, not just in movies, but actual different theories of what time travel is about, what people believe it could actually be, and ultimately we're going to have a conversation about what would you do if you could time travel. So it's going to be fun. We're going to spend some time, kind of digging deep into the different theories and different ways and what can happen. Obviously, tie into movies. We have a lot of movies that we love that involve time travel, including Back to the Future and things like that.
Greatest movie ever made.
It's going to be one of those. It's going to be a fun conversation, kind of get you thinking about the possibilities. And is time travel even already a thing? Have people been coming back? So it's going to get real nerdy real quick, y'all. So pretty excited for that to come through this week.
Yeah, so another episode down, guys. And I don't know, I've been going through, a lot of stuff this week. And, usually in the beginning of the podcast, like to touch on my week and stuff. But I want this to be a positive thing, man. I want people, to come here and know they're going to have a good time and, hear about stuff that they love and everything like that. But, even with everything going on, and I told Brian from the gym, I don't want it to stop this or, get my way of anything, man, because no matter what you're going through, the world keeps turning, and you can't, wallow in whatever you're doing, man. You know what I'm saying? So even though I'm going through a lot of things, this is a passion of mine. This is a love of mine, and this is something I really want to do. And I'm gonna keep doing this, for myself and for anyone that's out there watching it, man. So appreciate you guys stopping by. Another episode down. Guys, keep nerding. And then until next week, guys. Thanks for coming
Deuces.
through. Peace.
Yes.